Welcome to IT Idiots, episode 33. My name's Nicholas Hill, and I'm joined as always by Nikki Curtis.
Hi.
As you can see, we've got new surroundings.
Very grim.
Charming. We've decided to move the podcast to a professional studio. All of this has been built for us.
Yep.
We're not backed by a magazine or
No, not at all. It's really quite amazing here. What we've got behind us is a big blue screen, and they've matted on sort of like
pictures
of someone's house onto it. So it looks like we're still in a lounge.
Yeah,
so
it does.
Sort of a bit like Wayne's World.
It is.
That's very much what we're trying to do.
So to cut to the point, we're actually in my spare room. We've turned my spare room into a podcasting room.
In Ashford. You probably wouldn't have heard of Ashford if you come from America.
Well, anyway, there you go. It's just outside of London, really, in terms of American-sized map.
Yeah.
It's London, really, isn't it?
Just down the road.
So we've moved the podcast, and this week we're going to take a look at something a little bit experimental.
As always,
we've got my Intel Mac running here. So we'll be doing the podcasts on here and running virtual machines on here. This is boot camp, pretty much like the stuff was around your house. Mm-hmm. But this week we're actually going to take a look at Fusion, which is VMware for the Macintosh, which is quite exciting. It is in beta, so you can download it for free from their website. It is a little buggy, as we found, but that could be part of the strains we're trying to put on the system with capturing, and we were trying to remote
VNC into it.
The first take of this show, we were trying to VNC into it. So
this is ever. We've actually been here for 6 hours prior to this.
Something like that. But hey, that's what we're here for. So we're going to run through putting VMware Fusion on.
Yep.
And we thought, just to spice things up a little bit, we would have a look at putting on Ubuntu. Now, I was able to install that before you turned up and cursed the podcast. So
we can always boot to PC and do it on that one.
What? And I'll just edit in the Finder bar or something.
Well, you could probably get a theme, couldn't you? An OS X theme for Windows, I'm sure.
That might make our life a lot easier going forward.
Anyway.
But anyway, so the idea of VMware is an exciting one for the Mac, isn't it?
Yeah, so just I suppose just to cover VMware, just in case you're not familiar with what it does. Well, we've done a podcast on VMware on the PC. This is pretty much doing exactly the same thing on a Mac. We've had a look at Parallels, which is a product which is very, very similar to VMware. It basically emulates an Intel machine, doesn't it?
It does,
And in that Intel machine you can install an Intel operating system, Windows Server, Windows XP, Ubuntu, anything like that. So because your Macs are now Intel based, all of these emulation packages are actually working really well now. They're not sort of crossing over different processor platforms.
Correct,
Intel's PowerPC. Like Virtual PC was a bit rubbish.
So basically you can go straight to the platform, and so you're going to get that performance improvement. And obviously the exciting bit is that, if you're borderline wanting a Mac, VMware ultimately, when this is released out of beta, is going to be hopefully as stable and reliable as on the PC.
And that's what we're hoping very much for, isn't it?
And you may well find that you can do away with your PC and sort of move over to a Macintosh environment.
It's straight over to that.
So I think what we'll do is, should we actually kick off running this?
What we'll do, we'll kick off an installation of VMware. So as we mentioned, you can just download it or go to VMware.com and you can register for it and actually download it.
Yeah.
You need a serial number, so you do need to go through the registration process.
And they give you that for free. It's in beta at the moment.
It's not stressful at all, really. Right, so the installation, I suppose one handy tip I would say is the disk image file you're going to download, keep that on your hard disk somewhere, because as you can see there's an uninstall script from there, so it's a nice way to clean your machine down.
Or keep the uninstall script in an uninstall script.
I don't know if it needs anything else though. I'm not that clever with apples.
Well, it may, I know what you're saying, you may need the package, but probably not. It seems like
not.
A very simple script, we've run it enough times.
Right, so I agree. So we can choose to install it on... Why couldn't we install it on the external drive?
I don't know.
It's kind of interesting. Cannot install... Oh, you can install it on...
The OS X volume. There we go.
Because that is Mac. It is the Mac file system on that one.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so we can continue install. So you can see the installation is pretty painless. I think to type his root password in. But it's just like Vista this is now.
Oh my god, somebody might be listening to the key clicks or something.
Right, so that's installation. Another thing that we're really looking forward to, I'm hoping to switch totally to Macs, as Nick said, and I think lots...
I mean, I am Mac now.
It's it's a bit of a hassle booting in or boot camping into PC and and going back into Mac OS X all the time. And because I work with PCs, like lots of you guys work with PCs, but you want to use a Mac at home, this could be the ultimate solution. You know, we can run OS X, keep it nice and tidy, and all your work stuff works under VMware. And the other thing I've noticed, is it still in the capture buffer?
No, of course we rebooted
it. Okay. The other nice thing about it is any virtual machines you've created on the Windows edition, or even ESX server, will actually work on this, and we'll try that one out as well. Apparently, account details.
Oh, somebody new signing up. We're getting people registering every day now, dude, which is just great. Come along to that's a good point actually.
Yeah, we always big up the website. We have got a website just in case you only found us through iTunes, and you can view all of the past episodes online, and they will stream, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and we've got a forum as well where you can come and ask questions and sort of join in.
Yeah, and what we will be doing is, we do sort of look at the forums and base our episodes on them. So any questions you want us to go through, we will go into them.
Look, you can get a serial number from here, so you probably go online and just register.
Probably goes to Hasta La Vista. Right, so it's all installed.
Okay, I'll hand back over to Nikki.
And what we'll do, just to keep the momentum up, because I want to go home, is we'll go straight into VMware. I don't like people who minimise that. Where's VMware now? Oh, it doesn't put a shortcut in, does it? Bloody Macs, honestly.
I don't know, who'd want one?
Who'd want one? Right. So it's called VMware Fusion, but it just maps to VMware Desktop.
It does,
the desktop one on the PC.
In fact, I had to do a little bit of hunting around. The easiest thing is actually to type in VMware Fusion into Google, because you go to VMware's website, they're not exactly shouting about it on the front page, are they?
I think they are now. It's a headline on the front page.
So it wasn't before, and I started downloading the PC one accidentally.
So what you can see, we get presented with a wizard, so I'll go through that in a second, but you can also connect up to their website and actually download what they call appliances, and they're pre-configured virtual machines.
A little bit like what Mocha 5 are doing, where they've got the pre-done ones. We've done quite a lot on virtualization.
We have,
we like it.
No, we're definitely going to be doing this product called Softricity, another application virtualization. That's one thing, but we need money for that.
Okay.
I need to register TechNat, so anyone who wants to give me 220 quid.
Or just in small donations. Yeah. We don't have a donations button on our website anymore. I'll put it back.
No, because then we could get a TechNet Plus subscription, and then we get all the decent software. We can do it legit, which is good. Yeah,
and if you want to sponsor an episode of the show, your company does. We'll pretty much take any sum of money.
Anything, any Windowsy, open sourcey, whatever. Okay, so going through the wizard, we can pick and choose from various different operating systems here. It will do any Intel machine, so if it's not listed on here, you can just click on other on that. So just to show, if you look at Windows, drop down the box here, we can see we've got Vista experimental support in there. Experimental
Vista on a beta virtualization. I don't think that would be rock solid.
I know. Are you actually running Vista at the moment?
No, I'm not.
I run it at work, and I'm kind of quite liking it. And it's strange, really, because the funny thing is, I've heard that it's getting reviewed better in Mac magazines.
I was going to say the Mac people.
The Mac people are really liking it. I do like it, but unfortunately my laptop's 1024 768, so because of the nice graphics, they're bigger and it's using a lot more screen real estate. Or whatever
I see. So it would look lovely on this box then.
It would do. Running 800 by 600.
Right, Linux.
And we're going to do Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
So if I click on advanced installation options here, what I'm going to do is just choose that this virtual machine have this ISO image in. So you guys probably know what ISO image is. It's just like a CB image. And click on continue. Name of it Ubuntu 2. Just 2. I thought that'd be at least 5 or
6 by now, but anyway.
So I'm going to click on next, continue on that next.
That's fine, yeah. Give it 8 gig.
Okay,
so if you go to advanced, this is where you can choose the number of processors.
Okay, so
let's keep it on 1 though.
So 1 or 2 processors, the amount of memory it's got. So you've got shed loads of memory, haven't you?
I got 2 gig.
You've got loads, so that's fine on that. Right, so let's choose an install.
Okay. So that's now going to boot up into Ubuntu, which is the live CD, so you can play with it before installing it.
Yeah, I must admit, you've done a little bit of playing with Ubuntu, haven't you?
I have, a little bit.
I haven't tried for ages. Red Hat, about 4 years ago, was probably the first one.
Do you want to click into that? And
so start or
yeah, but you're not in the virtual machine. That's kind of the way it works. You have to go into it.
Shut it.
Right, okay,
So
so
Baker.
so that's now booting up. Do you want to talk people through a little bit about the settings?
Yeah.
Because it does take a little bit of time for it to boot up.
So it does look very, very... Oh, Control and Apple. Yeah, it does take a look... Oh, no, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks very, very similar to VMware Workstation, which I've got to admit, the Parallels interface for some reason I've got a little bit of a psychological problem with. It just doesn't look right. It looks too much like a toy. But on this one, we've got the usual ones. We can shut the virtual machine down. We can suspend it. We'll have a look at the settings in just a second.
You might find that Ubuntu, that VMware automatically shuts it down on our behalf, surely.
Yeah, we've had a few application errors because of the beta nature of the product.
And we were doing a lot at the time.
Exactly. So we've got full screen, which I'm not going to do.
No.
For capturing, we can... let's just go through settings.
Yeah, let's talk about settings a little bit.
So the virtual machine here, a lot of these removable devices, what you can do, I imagine on the full product when that's out, you can just add additional network, well, you will be able to if it's like a PC. So add additional network cards. So this could be a router that you're configuring or playing around with, or maybe you're trialing an ISA server. And that's one thing we must do as well, do ISA 2006.
Because a lot of this has been disabled at the moment in this version, and they do sort of tell you...
Exactly, yeah. So we can see here, it doesn't give me the ability to actually add one. I know the machine's actually powered on, and it wouldn't let me anyway. But even if it's switched off, it only lets me have one network card.
Yeah.
So that's mapped straight through. At the moment, it's sharing the host's internal network connection, so it's going out via NAT, so it's natting over this machine's card.
Yeah.
It's going to work for us. It will give us internet access.
Definitely.
What we really do want for the kind of work that we'll be doing, and probably you were doing, is to bridge it.
Yeah, definitely.
That gives it a real identity on the network.
Well, it'll enable us to build a much more realistic network. Yeah, realistic network.
At the moment, there are issues with bridge networking, so we're just going with NAT.
I'm hoping that in the next release, and I'm hoping they're going to be fairly frequent, the beta releases.
I think what it is, because they say there's a problem with wireless networks, machines with wireless networks, and I reckon it's binding to the wireless network.
Yeah.
Or binding to the physical network card rather than the wireless one.
It's got to be that, because we were able to ping between two machines,
exactly,
weren't
we? Okay, so sound adapter, fairly straightforward. CD-ROM, we can connect the device. Now, if I look into here, if I just go into virtual machine, you can see what we can do is just put additional or alternative ISO images in there.
So you can either use the physical CD-ROM or you can browse for an ISO.
So we can do that. Hard disks. So again, we would be able to add an additional hard disk.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to create a server with a couple of hard disks, or just pretend it's a bit more real. And you can actually mirror and stuff on this.
Yeah, because again, a lot of people may want to set up, sort of their emulated networks at home to play around with stuff.
I mean, even today I use VMware. The project I'm doing at the moment, it's very heavily based on business desktop deployment, or SMS. But we've actually built a test lab.
Okay.
But before we do that, the testing, I test on my VMware, and then it moves. Testing moves onto the lab, and then the pilot, and then eventually into reality. Okay. And that process takes about 6 months.
So it's quite an exhaustive process.
Yeah.
So this device will be editable in future releases, so you can see that USB at the moment is
yeah. So if you had any USB devices, it would map straight through into the guest machine on that.
And obviously, it'd be nice to know whether it's supporting USB 2 actually at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. So memory, we can slide that up and down, obviously very dependent on the amount of physical memory you've got, and processors, we can pick and choose what processors. And it does, understand the fact that this is a dual core machine. It does present both of those cores to the operating system.
Which could be quite nice when you're sort of pushing it a little bit more heavily.
Yeah.
Or certainly if you've got two machines and want to give one a processor, I wonder if you can give one processor to each one.
Well, you can on the GSX server, VMware GSX, whatever the thing's called now. But on this one, again, it's a beta product, but it would have to have an option to say processor 0 or processor 1.
I would have thought so.
On. Yeah. But, that may well come. So, didn't make any changes, so I can just close that one down.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
So, we can go through the...
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's actually going to start installing Ubuntu. Now, again, screen res might be an issue here, but...
Can we full screen? I'm a bit worried about the capturing if we full screen it.
Well, what's the comeback out of full screen? Because I was running it in full screen, no problems.
What does do full screen?
Yeah, but I can't remember what it is to exit. I have to do help. Do you remember?
I think it's Apple's an Escape or Control Escape if it's anything like the other one.
VMware Fusion help. Let's just quickly find out. I wonder if we can find out. Do you want to type into their search?
Well, actually, if you go to View.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. We're on Firefox, aren't we?
Yeah. Hang on. Let's just go back to this.
Go to View. Toggle full screen. So
Yes,
that
and
one.
enter.
These Apple keys, I haven't got a clue, mate.
So it's that and enter. That's why we weren't getting back out of it yet. Front row seemed to work okay. So here we go. It's in a slightly higher resolution, but I would imagine now. Bear with me 1 second. System preferences, screen resolution. 644/80, because we don't really need it any more than that to demo this. Keep resolution. Hang on. We're going to get there.
Close that down and reinstall, maybe.
You think?
I reckon it sizes the window to the
Yeah.
resolution and start up.
Quit installation. So
It's developers.
nope. So okay, not a problem, because what we'll do is we'll put it into 800 by 600, and that should be absolutely fine. Screen resolution. This is obviously where we find out now that obviously the capture
doesn't
software
work.
doesn't work. Right, keep
keep.
resolution. Next. Yeah, this is quite good. This must look good with me leaning across your lap in such a dignified way. Next.
Keyboards. Next.
No, it's US English, because it's an Apple keyboard.
Yeah.
That took me quite a while to work out.
This one's, yeah.
Right, okay, what is your name? Mighty idiots.
What we're going to try and do on this one as well is actually join it to the domain as well. So this
Will do, yeah.
this virtual machine, if this beta can create a decent enough, stable enough machine,
Yeah.
we join it to the domain, because they do support Kerberos now.
They
And
do?
We can log on to the Active Directory, which is
In theory.
what we were going to do it today, but unfortunately it's a little bit,
It's quite a lot of work.
yeah.
And it the biggest problem we had was it involved apt getting some packages. And because we can't have the wireless network plus join it to the domain,
Yeah.
yeah, let's just let it. So that's now erasing my Mac hard drive. Obviously it isn't here, you realise that.
Yeah, the other thing to state is whilst you're looking at this, it did give us a warning earlier saying it is running with debug code, and
It
this
did,
will
yeah.
slow it down as a result. So this won't be an indication of the end of the
So
performance of the final product.
okay, so that's now running, and that's actually going to take. It's probably going to take about 30 to 40 minutes on. Well, it takes about 30 to 40 minutes anyway. So we're probably better off just leaving that and coming back to it when it's finished installing,
Happy with
and
that.
maybe we can demonstrate it. Come
Back
back
to
out
the
full
internet,
screen
yeah.
and show it connecting to the internet and actually doing something.
Yeah, we must try running a PC one as well. We'll give that a go before we
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
up,
definitely. Let's just take that out of. Cool.
Cool.
Hasn't
So-
crashed yet.
See you in a
Okay,
minute.
so yeah, we'll see you in a minute.
installed.
So you probably saw that playing at high speed. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to log in.
It's the first time I've seen this actually. It's looking kind of special.
It's looking respectable, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no S. So logging in, we've set the resolution here to 800 by 600 so we can see what's going on. First thing I'm going to just let pop up and...
The first thing you've got to do is browse, surely.
Well, I was just going to show people this.
Oh, yeah.
Look, a little bit like Windows does, you get automatic notification that there are software updates to install.
That's quite good.
So let this, and basically, as you can see out the box, it's connected to the internet and found out that there are 90 updates.
150 meg. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It sort of gives you a little bit of reassurance, doesn't it?
Yeah, the whole thing is ongoing and being developed, and there are quite a few, releases on quite a regular basis, updates.
You sound bored, Nick.
I don't know, I'm just trying to get over the fact that I wanted to burp.
Nice.
I have no idea what dbus, well, it's a simple inter-process messaging system. I mean, obviously we knew that.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
So there are quite a lot of things to update and install.
It's got its own office suite and everything, isn't it?
It does. I mean, look, there's an update for Firefox and stuff. But I think what we'll do is we'll save this maybe for another podcast and run through a lot of the more sort of some of the stuff that I've learned and how to set up to get packages and things like this. Because there is a bit, and we'll put it like this: if you're interested in seeing some more about Ubuntu and sort of getting the basics of Ubuntu up and running, come and let us know. But I'm just going to prove that this thing is on Tinternet.
What a good website.
It is. It's beautiful.
Has it got Flash? Why is there only 2 people? Why is there only 2 of you watching?
How dare you? I don't know what the plugins.
That'd be the Flash plugin, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
But this would be interesting, though, just to see how useful it is.
Yeah.
Because I think this does work well on low spec machines as well, doesn't it?
Well, I think you can configure it up for lower spec machines. So look, it's found that it needs Adobe Flash Player. I'm going to agree to the license agreement. So we might as well just let it run through because I think this is quite good to sort of see. I mean, out of the box, it's already proving to be quite usable.
Yeah, well, we've done nothing apart from change the resolution. And you did find that quite hard, Nick, didn't you?
It was pretty hard.
It was quite hard for yourself.
For somebody of my knowledge and limited understanding and stature. I notice you couldn't be bothered to help me out though.
Well, I'm taking a break.
Oh,
no,
okay.
you're the one that I haven't seen this product.
No, that's very true. You have now.
I didn't even see VMware till this morning.
Don't even know what it is. Right, so that's now
We've got
reloading.
3 guests online now, that's better.
Right, shall we see if it'll stream?
Yeah, might as well. That will really screw up the capture. I'm not sure about that logo, it sort of says death to me.
Yeah, I like that. We are about death. I'm not hearing any sound.
Is this the shabby singing one?
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
I can hear. So look, that's streaming out the box. This isn't a virtual machine, guys.
Oh my god, that's really spooky. And I do wear different clothes.
Occasionally. So, a lot of issues about bringing back the girl, a lot of issues about Shabby being shit. Or, can I say that?
Yeah.
And we're still number 3 today.
Yeah, we're number 2 yesterday, weren't we?
Yeah, so come along to the forums. We've got quirky little comments and... oh, Ashley, that's new. That's today.
Sick, yeah, just have a quick look at that
Shall we see what he said? Oh, we've got another one by Ralphie somebody or other. Let's
These
see.
are all new people.
Greetings. Shabby's Xmas tune by Andrew. That was a couple of days ago.
First of all, news is a 20-year-old software developer living in West Midlands. Oh no! What's this? I really enjoyed the show. Okay, cool.
This morning I had a bit of an IT Idiots marathon and watched about 5 hours worth starting that skipped some of the IP ones. I really like the style of how you present your shows. A bit of entertainment as well. I laugh every time the cats. So yeah, nice bit of...
that's cool.
Yeah, so I think...
That's what we do it for. We don't get any money for it or anything anymore, do we?
What's this Badil and Skinner thing? That's what I was going to tell you. I was looking at who links to us and how people found us. And one of the ways that somebody found us through Google was Badil and Skinner.
What we come up? Oh, because it's on the forum. Google's indexed the forum.
So somebody clicked through looking for Badil and Skinner and found us.
I'll have to write back to that guy. That's nice.
I didn't know David Badil knew so much about IT. There you go. Even Tomway was saying you looked a bit Badilish and Skinnerish. Well, she couldn't see the Skinner bit so much, could she?
No.
But, anyway, so that's our website. We would like you to come along and contribute because we're growing quite nicely now, and I can actually say that I mean it.
Yeah, we were lying earlier, weren't we?
We weren't lying. We just weren't growing so quickly. But I mean, we almost doubled in size last month, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think iTunes helped us by being a featured podcast and front page video.
Yeah, that was.
But anyone in the US who thinks you're lying, I think it is UK that we're doing
not,
so well.
Yeah, the US charts.
US we're still to break into,
Yeah.
probably in such a big way. But hey, baby steps all the way.
It's a start.
It is indeed. So I think that's Ubuntu.
That's Ubuntu.
God knows whether this has all worked and captured. So
well, let's close this down because what I want to try before we go is I want to try and load up one of our Microsoft ones.
okay, yes.
So
we'll see you in a moment for that.
I'm starving as well.
I bought your burger. What more do you want?
I want another burger. You're sleeping, aren't you? Yeah, well, you know I'm next in the podcast. Yeah, well as usual, it's going on for slightly longer than planned. So, have you been through her drawers yet?
Have you sniffed anything?
Have you tried on her pants yet? Huh? I'll give you a hint, mate. You don't want to go to her drawer. Go to the dirty linen basket.
For 5 days of the month, it's a real treat.
Yeah. Right, I'll see you later, mate. Okay.
Okay, so we didn't have to wait for that to render out, but we're definitely doing a podcast, it would appear.
Yeah, it seemed to work okay.
So that was fairly stable.
So what have we done? So we've taken you through VMware.
Yep.
You've seen it's largely the same as the PC one. So that's looking pretty good.
Yep.
We've installed Ubuntu and had a little bit of a look at that, so we're going to use that virtual machine later on.
Yeah, we'll definitely come back to Ubuntu.
So I think the last thing we're going to try, because this is the thing I'm really interested in as well, and lots of you guys probably have got lots of virtual machines that you've already built.
Yep.
So what I've done is I've just taken my removable drive from home, and it's got a virtual machine that's been created using VMware
Yep.
Workstation, and it's actually one of the domain controls we used on a previous episode. So we're just going to try and double click on that. I'll just fire it up, and we can see at the moment. It's interesting. What it's doing is that the virtual machine, the last time it was started on my PC, had an ISO image on it, which obviously this machine can't reference now. So I don't think that's going to cause too much of a problem.
I tell you what, I'm going to go full screen on this just for the.
Because we know the capturing works now.
Yeah, we only found that out whilst rendering out. That Snaps Pro is pretty good, although I have to say, compared to, in fairness, on a PC, it does do it in real time.
It does, yeah.
Whereas this captures and then it sort of renders it right at the end, and it seems to render it in real time.
Yeah, well, maybe it's using less performance as it's capturing.
Must be what it's doing. It's doing it obviously in some sort of quite light way.
So the fact it's got this far is looking kind of hopeful, because you would either imagine it wouldn't work at all.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've got to bear in mind this is a this is a virtual machine that Nikki built on VMware on a PC, and all we've done is we've copied it across and put that onto essentially onto a Mac hard drive. So we shall see what this does.
And it's going a little bit slow at the moment.
But don't forget, it's in debug.
It's in debug code. It did give us a warning about that.
Yeah, it is debug code, and I'm pretty convinced that the final version is going to be a lot snappier. You know.
And it's a real shame, because although we're pretending we haven't done this before, we actually know it works, and it worked a lot better than when we demoed it, didn't it?
No, we weren't watching it. We were
it.
busy sort of ignoring it. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to on holiday in Colorado to see a few friends, Karen and Matthew. I might have mentioned them before, but Matthew's he's a really good chef, and I talked him into doing a chef podcast, which is.
Oh yeah, you went out and bought the camcorder with him.
Yeah,
didn't you?
We actually watched the How to Do a Podcast on a budget, and it's really good because he's a great chef, but not that great at IT. So it's amazing what he's done.
Yeah,
especially seeing he's using Windows Media Player.
But his missus is into IT in a kind of a way.
Into IT, yeah. But he's not, and I think he's doing most of them. So check this one out. It's Providence Cooking. They're really short episodes. And what he's doing is he's taking you through sources, how to make mayonnaise and whatever. But the guy's really good, and I can't cook anything, but he can teach me to cook.
Well, I've eaten a few things that he's cooked, and it's amazing how he's like a proper chef.
Yeah.
He goes to the fridge and he pulls things out, and he says, "Well, we've got this,
and what can you make for that?"
And you know, when we cut things, but he goes, he's really quite impressive in the kitchen.
Yeah, because
and they got a website as well. So if you're out in Colorado and need some catering,
I do private catering as well.
yeah. So there we go. That's a
Check them out, Providence Cooking, because I think they've credited us.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, no, whatever.
Maybe that's why our viewing audience went up.
Maybe so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so check them out.
Oh, I'm going to watch a few of his because I only watched the first one, and he didn't release one for a little. Oh, there you can see, yeah.
So actually one
Couple of
Christmas
weeks.
Anyway.
So yeah. Not plugging him too much.
No.
Goodness no. Right.
Have to quit giving up plugging Dell now.
No, it ran out.
Oh,
It was
okay.
only for a 3-month period, so they're advert free now.
Right.
Right.
Now, Control Alt Delete could be kind of interesting.
Hang on. No. Is it what I think it is?
Yeah, it is.
I won't give it out because you use it elsewhere.
I don't use the password. What's your PIN name? 1111.
One more. I tried it. Oh no, it's that one. Sorry, sorry. It's not the one that you use elsewhere. Yeah, well,
Space.
installed on a Mac. Sorry. You probably feel sick right now. So we're going in. It hasn't
It
crashed.
seems to sped up a little bit.
It's applying our personal settings.
And
We're in.
we're in.
So it's got to be stable.
It's got to be. Absolutely. I would run a company on that. I really, really would.
There we go. So I'm going to take that out of full screen, and I think that's enough of demonstrations.
I think so.
of
Yeah.
all of this.
So it's looking like a really great product, and it's looking like hopefully I'll be able to say goodbye to my PC.
Wow, that crappy home built thing.
It's not so bad. I turn it on occasionally. It's got stripe discs, which is really nice and quick for VMware.
Yeah,
That's one benefit it's got.
it just doesn't feel nice, and would you not rather have one of those on your desktop? I bet
There's
you
not
would.
enough neon glowing bits inside it, and it hasn't got a side window. Joe.
Hasn't got go faster stripes
need
written
those
down
in
the
PC.
side.
Anyway,
we're
we're
wittering.
get done.
We'll get told off. We'll get told off
Right,
for wasting your
we talk
time.
like girls.
Right. So okay, I think until next time we shall say goodbye. I don't know what we got planned for next week. Any
Well, I'm going
ideas?
to try and get Longhorn, but I want to do it legit, so it depends whether I can get it through TechNet or not.
What about addressing some of the requests? We asked people to come along and give suggestions, and you never actually do any of the ones that people suggest.
Well, have we got anything interesting?
Loads, if you bother to read the forums.
Well, we've got routing remote access. I've always been willing to do that, but it always seems like a bore. Well, I suppose what we could do is splice up and have like a hodgepodge episode of answering people's questions.
Yeah.
So anything you want us to go for 10 minutes if you're studying for an MCSE and
Got a question?
yeah,
or...
particular area or something, then we're not saying we know the answer, but we have a bloody good go at finding an
definitely.
answer. So yeah.
I had an email from somebody talking about maybe doing one on free, really good, some of the best freeware apps out there, and
Yeah.
just bringing to people's attention some of the good ones.
Yeah.
Because I use quite a lot of freeware applications because I've got no money.
Yeah.
So I think until next week, we don't know what we're going to do yet, but we'll think of something. It'll be great as always.
In this wonderful place of Ashford.
So, sorry, you come and comment. Does this look better than Nikki's dingy little flat?
My flat was alright, but now it's got holes on the wall for blue tack holding up all the podcasty stuff.
Is that your 30-year-old paint that sort of fell off? Right, we're going to stop wittering. We'll see you guys next week. So take care. Bye.
Bye.